friends, my name is Asad. I'm the director of MUJTABA Jewelers. Welcome back to my second video on how to buy gold and be a smart buyer. In my previous video, I spoke about the technology and the science behind how to make gold and how to make jewelry. Now, this video I'm going to talk about the costs involved in manufacturing, and when it comes to the counter, what is it going to be priced and what exactly you have to look when you buy gold. Okay, to start with, as I mentioned that the raw gold undergoes many different processes in order to come into a shape and finally become jewelry. During this process, some extent of gold is lost. I would call it loss. In our terminology, we call it wastage. For example, if I give 10 grams of gold to the worker, raw gold, he draws into wires, cut the balls, cut the die pieces, drills holes for fitting the stones. Some gold is converted into powder and which cannot be recovered. In any industry you see, there is definitely some amount of wastage. This wastage, which cannot be recovered, becomes a part of the manufacturing cost. Apart from this, since the goldsmith has worked hard, he expects some labor. In more common terminology, it is called as making charges. It means, for example, if 100 rupees is the cost of gold and 5 rupees is the wastage and 5 rupees is the making charge, 110 rupees becomes the cost price. So at what price does this goldsmith give it to the manufacturer? Goldsmith to the manufacturer. The manufacturer at what cost does it give to the jeweler? And at what cost does the jeweler give to the customer? So at every stage, some profit has to be included for all these people to survive. This is the supply chain. So can the jeweler sell to the customer 110 rupees? No. He has to add some money on this. And just for an example, let's say he adds 10 rupees. So 120 rupees. So 110 becomes the cost price and 120 becomes the selling price. But most of the cases, we come across customers who say that this jeweler doesn't charge 10 rupees, he doesn't charge making charges, he doesn't charge wastage. So what does it mean? Have you ever noticed, if you buy milk from a milk vendor, he can add more water into the milk and sell you? Don't you think that's cheating? Yes, many jewelers do that. In order to save some margin, or if they feel that customer is not ready to pay them the making charges, they add more impurities inside the gold. So they get more margin and at the same time customer is also happy. But do you think that's right? No. It is very important that you give margin to the jeweler. If you don't give this margin, they can cheat you because it will go beyond his cost price. If he pays wastage and making to the worker and he doesn't charge you, what does that mean? He is not there to do social service. So you pay the appropriate price. Some people collect this margin by saying either wastage, some jewelers call it as making charges, some jewelers call it as KDM charges. Whatever you say, ultimately there is an added cost. But how much added cost is right? That is what we have to understand. But before that, in order to compare different jewelers, we need to compare it on a common platform. Let's say you are comparing one jeweler who sells good quality 22 karat gold and other jeweler who sells poor quality, then you will not be able to compare. So this became into a major problem. That is where the government has got involved into this industry. Hallmarking has been introduced by the Bureau of Indian Standards. This has been introduced in order to get jewelers at par on a common platform. So once the jewelry is made, it is sent to the government identified hallmarking centers where they test whether the quality is really 22 karat or not, whether it is 18 karat or not, whether it is 21 karat or not. Then they put a government stamp on it. What does the hallmarking stamp consist of? It consists of basically 5 stamps. First, the Bureau of Indian Standards logo, then the quality. If it is 22 karat, it should be 916. If it is 21 karat, they will write as 875. If it is 18 karat, they write as 750. This is first, this is second. The third stamp will be the year of manufacturing. Let's say for example 2020. It will be let us say for example marked as S for an example. Then the fourth stamp will be, it might be a flower or some logo which belongs to the government hallmarking center. And the fifth stamp is the retailer logo, which jeweler has got it hallmarked. Let's say for example MUJTABA jewelers, it will be MTB. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So customer first he needs to check whether the jewelry is hallmarked or not. If it is hallmarked, first check whether it is 916, 875 or 750. A jeweler will randomly say, yeah, my jewelry is hallmarked. But if it is mentioned 750, it means he is selling you 18 karat gold. So don't just go by the words hallmark. You ask the jeweler for a lens, a magnifying lens, and it is your right to ask for a magnifying lens. You check whether the stamp is 916, 875 or 750, and also check whether all these 5 stamps are present on the ornament. If no, then you have to demand. It's your right, it's your hard-earned money. Now, how do you compare price with other stores? Some stores, they say wastage, making charges, KDM charges. I say very clearly, don't get into all this confusion, because some jewelers, they charge lower gold rate, higher making charge. Low gold rate, high making charge. Some jewelers from Chennai, Bombay, they adopt this policy. Some jewelers in Hyderabad, they charge high gold rate, low making charge. Ultimately, you buy here or you buy here, the average is going to be the same. What I suggest, don't try to compare the gold rates, don't try to compare the making charge. Simply see what is the per gram value. A jeweler says his gold rate is 4,000 rupees and making charges is 400 rupees. You have to check whether it is 4,400 or not, because another jeweler will say his gold rate is 3,800 and he charges making charges 600 rupees. It is the same. Some people might fool you. See, we have lower gold rate. What's the point if making charges is high? I suggest to my customers, please check this. A little here and there. Let's say instead of 4,400, let it be 4,500, 4,350. That's okay. Major difference should not be accepted. So don't get fooled by the making charges. Let some people advertise making charges 6% onwards. What do you mean by onwards? Some people say Chennai gold rate. What do you mean by that? It's all rubbish. Follow simple golden thumb rule. Rate per gram. This rate per gram, that you can compare with other jewelers. And I will explain a certain rights of the customer. One, go to a jeweler who has got a clear price tag policy, CPT. What do you mean by CPT? CPT means jeweler should mention what is the making charges or what is the weight, what is the value of the stones on the tag. Check for this. And always take a bill. Pay tax. Always the bill should have buyback policies or exchange policies written overleaf on the bill. Most importantly, you should also focus on after sales support. This is very important. Everybody can sell jewelry, you can sell it for cheap, but if the jewelry gets broken or you want to sell the gold, what do? Where do you go? If this jeweler says, no, I won't accept it. This is important. If something happens to a jewelry, the jeweler should take responsibility and repair it. But remember, repairing is not free of cost, which most of the customers feel. Nothing is free in this world. You have to pay and get things done. Then only a jeweler will be able to support you. So look out for all these points in your mind. Go where the trust is established. Don't go by super big brand names, because go to a store who are locals there, who are already present in that city, who live in that city, jewelers, so that they will be answerable. You can question them. It's not that staff or managers are sitting here and tomorrow you don't find the owner. Don't go to such places, because ultimately gold is bought with trust. So I would like to end my video, and I advise you to be a smart buyer. It's your right, it's your hard-earned money. Don't lose it, be smart. Thank you. If you like my video, please press the like button and subscribe. Thank you.